Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back or to get over your ex. This week, I want to talk about why it seems your ex doesn't care about you. Is that really what's happening, or is it something else? Well, stay tuned and you'll find out. But first, I want to welcome back my beautiful No Contact Army. If you're having trouble staying in no contact, then just download my app Silencio. And if you're about to break no contact, hit the panic button and you'll get a little surprise from me. And the link for this is available underneath every video and podcast. And if you too would like to join our No Contact Army, it's very simple. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button and the bell notification, and you're in. And to read our manual, go to nocontactsecrets.com, where you can read 2 free chapters before purchasing the book. Okay, let's talk about why exes act like they don't care about you. But first, I have a success story. Okay, here it goes. Lucia, I never leave comments on any YouTube videos or in general, but you were right about everything, and I'm in complete disbelief. What? I was right? A guy I was talking to a month ago ended up friend zoning me, and I accepted it and immediately went no contact. All of a sudden, he contacts me and he tells me he didn't like the way things ended, and now he wants to try again. Woohoo! Mind you, this is one of the most stubborn men I've ever met, and I did not expect this at all. Okay, so everyone says that. He's stubborn, no, they're not stubborn, okay? It all depends on their interest level. When someone is super interested, you'd be surprised how not stubborn they can be, okay? And she goes, I didn't expect this at all. Now he's setting up dates, making time for me. This is absolutely unreal. Thank you, Lucia. No contact works. I had no faith until just now. Thank you. Well, thank you. I'm glad it all worked out. And thank the power of no contact. That's what did it. That's what made this guy be not so stubborn. Okay? All right. So you've been broken up with and you're looking for a sign that things may change, that your ex still cares, but it would appear that they're acting like they don't. The key word is acting. When you're acting, you're playing a role. Sometimes you are that character that you're playing. It's a perfect fit. And sometimes you're not. So what makes you think that they don't care? That's just your assumption and negative thinking. One of my clients who hadn't heard from their ex for months and months posted a video of himself with another woman on social media, and suddenly his ex popped up, and indeed she did care and she was jealous. And that was just the start of them getting back together. He could have easily thought, oh, she doesn't care, but that was not the case. She did care. It just seemed like she didn't. And people, and these are often people with an anxious attachment style, they tend to think that they meant nothing to their ex after a breakup. Well, it's very rare that you meant nothing to them, okay? So calm down, don't be so melodramatic, and I actually will cover those cases in this video. So why is your ex acting like they don't care? Well, one reason is that they don't want to confuse you. So at the moment, they're still planning on sticking to the breakup, and they don't want you to think they've changed their mind. They actually think they're doing the right thing and being nice to you by not giving you false hope, okay? Another reason is that they're going through the relief stage of the breakup, as I talked about in my video about the stages a dumper goes through, and I'll put that link in the upper right hand corner on YouTube. So they're in the relief stage and they're just happy to be out of the relationship, especially if they have an avoidant attachment style. So although at the moment they may actually not care about the fact that you're no longer together, of course they still care about your feelings and about hurting you, but they felt they would be happier without you at this moment. Okay, I got to add that. Another reason is that, well, they're angry that you're in no contact, especially if they sent you insignificant messages and you didn't respond. So they may do something to retaliate and get a reaction from you and get you to break no contact. And I actually did a video on that about signs that your ex is trying to get you to break no contact, and I'll put the link up. But of course, we don't do that, right? Remember the slogan of the No Contact Army: we don't react, we do no contact. Or in this case, we don't react, we stick to no contact. Then we have the post-breakup competition. Do you know what that is? Well, that is where you each try to outdo each other and show that you're doing fine without the other person. So it turns into the silent competition. So they'll act like they don't care, they're moving on, they're having a great time without you, but are they really? If they're posting about how great they're doing, or they're posting quotes about being better off without you or something like that, then they're trying to rub it in your face. And it's probably not true, because if they had truly moved on, they wouldn't be trying to convince you of anything or trying to get your attention on social media. They'd be too busy living their happy life, right? Next we have, as I mentioned earlier, the avoidant attachment style. And they're just happy to have their independence back. Again, it doesn't mean they don't care or that they didn't care about you, but right now they're focused on themselves. Another reason why it would seem your ex doesn't care is that you didn't date for very long. So there wasn't enough time for an emotional attachment there, so you can't really expect them to care when you stop seeing each other. They didn't really invest a lot in you, so they haven't lost anything. But it's not so much about the time, it's more about the emotional attachment, because a few years ago I met someone online and I was going out of town for about 6 weeks just before I met them, and we kept in touch while I was away, and we built up a connection from talking. And when we got back together, we only got together once, and things did not work out. However, we did have an emotional connection built up, and he actually still reaches out to me. So it's more about the emotional connection, but obviously you need time for that to happen. Okay, so if you dated for like 2 weeks, I doubt there's an emotional connection. Another reason that you may think your ex doesn't care is because they're being rude after the breakup. How dare they? So they're spreading rumors about you, they're ignoring you, or they're staring you down if you're in the same environment, school or work, or you have kids together. But remember this, the absence of love is not hate, it's what? That's right, indifference. So if they didn't care, they would not be doing any of these things. They would be behaving friendly and casual if you were in the same environment. So that's why I always tell people, if you run into your ex, just treat them like an acquaintance. And that's going to have the biggest impact. Because if you show anger or you're deliberately ignoring them, then they'll know that you still care. Another reason is because they moved on quickly. Now, this doesn't mean they didn't care about you. If anything, it's the opposite. They're trying to avoid the bad feelings, the grief that comes after the breakup, and they're trying to distract themselves with the new person. It actually shows that for a while there, they actually were happy being in a relationship, and they're trying to quickly recreate that feeling with someone else. So in a way, it's kind of a compliment that they want to move on quickly, even though it doesn't feel like it. It's not always a compliment, but sometimes it is. Another reason you may think they don't care is because you're blocked. And sometimes they block you because otherwise they're afraid that they are going to reach out, or they're afraid of what they're going to see on your social media. And I've actually done a video on blocking, and I'll put, of course, the link in the upper right-hand corner. But the majority of people who get blocked by an ex will usually get unblocked within 3 months. So just chill. Don't freak out. Calm down. Another reason, there's lots of reasons, I know, surprise, surprise. They already moved on before breaking up with you, meaning they had already decided that it was over, but they didn't bother to tell you, so they went through the stages of grief while they were with you, so that when they finally let you in on their little secret, they're already over it. Now, if they were just using you, then it is possible that you didn't mean anything to them, and so they don't care. But in the vast majority of cases, that's just not true. Okay, most people are not using you. Another reason is that, they just don't. So in this case, they're not acting, and for whatever reason, they just don't. But if you do things correctly after the breakup, who's to say that they're not going to change their mind? Okay? And then finally, the last reason is that they have narcissistic personality disorder. So if that's the case, you shouldn't even be worried about the fact that they don't seem to care about you. You're dealing with someone who has a mental health issue. They treat everyone like that after a breakup, okay? One of my clients was dating someone like that, and luckily when she contacted me to get him back, I was able to talk some sense into her, and she's willing to leave him alone and move on. Thank God. So to recap the reasons why you may think that they don't care: they don't want to confuse you. They're going through the relief stage of the breakup. They're angry because you're in no contact. The post-breakup competition. They have an avoidant attachment style. There wasn't an emotional attachment. They're being rude. They appear to be moving on quickly or moved on quickly. You're blocked. They moved on before breaking up with you. They were using you. They just don't. And they have narcissistic personality disorder. So now I want to hear from you. Has your ex done any of these things? Let me know below. And if you would like my help personally to get your ex back, contact me at theartoflove.net. The direct link is below every video and podcast, and we will send you the rates. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. If you're listening to this as a podcast, please rate and review. And finally, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.